A very good afternoon as we link you from Power Flavor, Spice Diana, the EP release party. Very interesting to see what the female artists are doing for themselves. Otherwise, welcome to the Lunchtime News with me, Wadulo Mark Arnold. It's about time that we give you the updates. Now, to start off, Uganda Bureau of Statistics has launched a digital application to be used in the data collection for the implementation of the parish development model. The executive director of UBC, Chris Muchiza, affirms that regional trainers are set to train local government data collectors in using this application. We have a detailed report.
The digital application is to be used in baseline data collection aimed at informing implementation of the parish development model that targets subsistence households.
Then we shall be collecting data from households for a period of 14 days. So on 24th, we expect to have finished data collection. If there are some bigger parishes, maybe we can spill over, but we want to be sure by that, so that by the beginning of financial year, data analysis, derivation is done, and then we can advise the financial inclusion pillar, how to disperse funds and to who.
The application is an initiative of Uganda Bureau of Statistics, UBC, and Ministry of ICT that has different features that enable real-time data review.
It gives us the characteristics of members of the households, the housing characteristics, and the enterprises that the members of households are involved in. So that, and it also gives us the location, the GPS, real time. So that by the time we identify who are the beneficiaries, we know which household is living in subsistence.
The sub-regional trainers will in turn train district and parish data collectors in the 15 sub-regions of the country.
This region 15, we have a trainer. And each district will bring 2 people to train. This is a statistician or demographer, population officer, and the IT officer. Each district will send a team from planning unit to be trained at regional level, who will want to train the data collectors.
At least 33,000 data collectors are to be trained nationally in the forthcoming data collection process that will usher in the parish development model program. Miriam Womcha, UBC News.
Now, the Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization is implementing a project aimed at sustainable management of fisheries resource in East Africa major water bodies. Now, the project, codenamed Contribution of Sustainable Fisheries to the Blue Economy of the Eastern Africa, Southern Africa, and the Indian Ocean region, EcoFish program, is being funded by the European Union at close to 800 billion shillings and is being implemented in Kenya, Uganda, and the United Republic of Tanzania.
Out enforcement to eliminate illegalities.
Fish stocks in Lake Victoria have reduced by half following the recent fish kill in which now perch species died in big numbers due to increased temperatures in the deep water. The Deputy Executive Secretary, Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, Dr. Anthony Tabu Munyaho, says a recent study established that fisheries resources declined by close to a half, mainly due to illegal fishing.
It is almost coming down by almost 50% from what we had. Almost 50% reduction. So if you use that figure of 50%, if you are slightly above 1 million, you come to something like just over 500 or up close to 500,000 tons. That is where we are, particularly of Nile perch.
The Director Fisheries Resources Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Joyce Nyako, confirmed the Nile perch species were the most affected in the recent fish kill, but also warned that illegal fishing is equally depleting water bodies of fisheries resources.
For one time, if we do not reduce illegalities and allow the fish to grow, we shall wake up with a big swimming pool called Lake Victoria. I don't know whether we shall be able to swim in that lake effectively. If there's a fisherman out there listening, please, 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 for your own sake, the sake of your children and the sake of your great-great-grandchildren, stop illegalities, stop killing the Nile perch. You are killing your own children. When the stocks decline, the catches decline. When the catches decline, the income declines and the livelihoods decline.
The Director, Fisheries Resources, United Republic of Tanzania, Emmanuel Magese Bulai, also attended the meeting held at Kabira Country Club, Kampala.
We in the three countries, through Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, we are looking forward to manage these resources through sustainable fisheries management. And
the Ecofish program came into force in September 2018 when the agreement was signed between the European Union and the Indian Ocean Commission.
We are very happy to be part of the steering committee of this project, because this project is really focused on developing further more efficient management of the fisheries of Lake Victoria.
The Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization Ecofish Third Project Steering Committee meeting attracted participants from Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania.
Lake Victoria and Lake Tanganyika, you are aware that these are the biggest lakes across the continent.
Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
This program is a program.
Now, the State Minister for Information, Communication and Technology, Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao, has appealed to ICT stakeholders to extend a reliable internet infrastructure. Minister Nabosa was officiating at the first anniversary of Copia Uganda, an online shopping platform.
Enhancing e-commerce is well stipulated in the National Development Plan 3, and this can be achieved through building reliable internet infrastructure. Government commits a strategy to facilitate stakeholders in the business sector affordable internet.
Where the internet cover the whole country, we are on that process and we work day and night to make sure that everybody gets internet, because without internet it becomes very difficult. So be assured that the ministry is working.
The emerging online shopping platforms and fintechs cautioned on the public trust. Government is optimistic to leverage on these platforms to fight counterfeits.
It is our obligation to find avenues that empower our people economically to enhance national building. If you receive goods which you don't like, you can return it. But here in Uganda, they always put on a receipt that goods once sold, don't return.
It is likely that even a product that comes certified could still have a fault. It could be a faulty product. We will actually take that product back. And actually, we do tests as well, so we have quality assurance internally.
Copia Uganda is an online shopping platform which commits to cater for people in rural areas with no smartphones.
They have a feature phone or smartphone. They're able to use a USSD. That majority of the Ugandans are not here in Kampala, are not in urban centers, but they are in peri-urban and rural communities. So what I just shared now in terms of the fulfillment center is towards digitizing Ugandan consumers and putting Ugandan consumers on a global map.
Small and medium-sized businesses are expected to rep big as this platform commits to buy products from the local manufacturers.
Because the struggles that the SMEs have is access to customer and route to market from a logistics perspective, both of which are expensive to obtain. So Copia has a huge pool of consumers. We
are in the business for supporting Ugandans. Ugandans for Uganda. Buy Uganda, build Uganda. That's what we are doing.
The adaptation of financial technologies in Uganda is faced with challenges like digital illiteracy, high cost of smartphones, and the poor internet infrastructure. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
Now, participants from the East African Community Armed Forces have converged at Junior Staff College Jinja to participate in the official opening of the 12th East African Community Armed Forces Field Training Exercise, codenamed Ushirikiano Imara 2022. The exercise features national defense forces from the East African Community, partner states, and the civilian component.
The two-week-long field exercise is attended by East African member states armed forces, police and civilians from Uganda, Burundi, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Sudan, and Democratic Republic of Congo.
Its desired intent is to practice the mission headquarters, combined joint task force, and contingent in planning, developing strategy, and conducting activities necessary to resolve a crisis as stipulated under Chapter 8 of the United Nations Charter.
The government and people of the Republic of Uganda for the warm welcome, hospitality, and excellence facilities accorded to our armed force to conduct this exercise. The joint exercises by the East African Community Partner States and Armed Force are held in the context of the East African Community Protocol on Cooperation Defense Affairs.
Deputy Chief of Defense Forces UPDF General Peter Erwell, on behalf of UPDF leadership, reminded the participants to uphold the East African values of patriotism, honor, and maintain discipline throughout the field exercise.
The best thing we can do in this world as the inhabitants of this world is to prepare for war. That is why this exercise is very important for us in the East African community. Because if we don't do that, some people are going to swallow us. There are some hyenas around watching because we have so many good things around.
Minister for Defense and Veterans Affairs, Honorable Vincent Sempija, retaliated on the objective of the exercise agenda
from this joint exercise so as to enhance and harmonize our regional efforts in the prevention and the combating of conflict and other crisis situations.
The third Deputy Prime Minister, Lukia Nakadama, who was the guest of honor, called upon the East African Community Armed Forces to harmonize peace and security operations in the region.
Our people are so confident. They no longer fear the army, and they know that with the army, they are very safe. They know there is peace. There is no that nothing will touch them with this army. Now that we are making it an army which is together, an army which has this combined force, I think we are making our people have stronger. I declare this training exercise officially opened.
In attendance were various ministers, East African Community Ministry Permanent Secretaries, representatives of CDFs, defense attaches, and defense liaison officers. Haruna Mtesasila reporting for UBC News in Jinja.
Now, the construction of two NUSAF roads in Padere Town Council has stalled for more than 7 years after the funds were reportedly embezzled by NUSAF officials. The mayor of Padere Town Council, Fearless Chilama, revealed that NUSAF desk officer in Padere, together with the team, shared over 143 million Ugandan shillings that was meant to facilitate the project. Chilama made this revelation at a Baraza meeting held by the Office of the Prime Minister at Padere Town Council headquarters, Padere District.
In the 2016-2017 financial year, government earmarked over 143 million shillings for the construction of two community access roads under NUSAF 3 in Padere Town Council. However, this project ended prematurely after NUSAF officials reportedly connived and embezzled funds after noticing that NUSAF 3 project had ended.
Over 43 million. The money was completed, the money disappeared. The money disappeared. What the gentleman only told the chairperson and said, you know, you don't cover my back, I will expose everything. And that is it. And the whole thing ended there.
The roads that have turned into pathways have partly affected business between Padere Town Council and other major markets.
That road connects our community from Achoro village Achor Parish, Ogom sub-counties, and as well Pajule sub-county, because that is for a market purpose, because their main market is here. Their main health centers is here. Where they do the shopping, it is within this town.
The culture of sponsoring political leaders by corrupt officials during the elections has made it difficult for government to fight against corruption in Pader Town Council.
You see, when someone sponsors a political leaders, the person who's supposed to fight corruptions, you are the one who have given him the mandate. He does not have any moral to fight back. He would be a yes man.
According to intelligence by security operatives, some of them have invested stolen funds in Pader Town Council.
If the money was made to benefit the community, now you have constructed with your house. That's your personal benefit. That's your personal benefit. Because now when you look at the roads, how many people will benefit from that roads?
Now, the Office of the Resident District Commissioner has petitioned State House Anti-Corruption Unit for intervention.
There is nothing to show in the district. The money of NUSAF has been embezzled completely. I have written to the head State House Anti-Corruption to come to Pader to take up the investigation, and I'm waiting for them. They should come and rescue me. This district is doing badly. There's almost a lot of corruption in all the sectors.
Embezzlement of NUSAF 3 funds came to light at the local accountability meeting dubbed Baraza, held by the Office of the Prime Minister in Pader Town Council. Joseph Okow, reporting for UBC in Pader Town Council.
We'll now take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with business, so stay tuned.
Jennifer, Jukila, Wewagamba, I don't have waka. You passed the eyes through me about my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo. Jambola we waka, look at you waka, see my waka.
Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
Football packages, great entertainment, sports, the local content, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Go TV, this is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Ugandan shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Even with my grandson, a doctor at my side, I struggled to get the help I needed. But he saw something that day. He began to work day and night. He wouldn't quit, even when people said no. He wouldn't stop fighting. He knew something had to change, and his vision was bigger than anyone could imagine. He made it possible to receive quality medical services anywhere in Uganda by simply using a phone.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you or call or SMS 162. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC Lunchtime News. It's 4th day of June 2022. We'll now take you into the world of business. Now, the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries has issued out 25 licensed fumigators who are dispatched to provide enough information about pesticides and their safe use. The Commissioner, Crop Inspection and Certification from the Ministry of Agriculture, Paul Mwambu, tasked the fumigators to use the skills acquired in mitigating risks that result into handling pesticides.
Can be harmful to human health and the environment if not handled well. At the closure of a 4-day training of fumigators in Ntinda, Paul Ochuna, the team leader, Eastern African Grain Council, says this is to close the gap on the little knowledge about pesticides on the market.
Pesticides are being bought from different agro-input dealers who do not provide enough information to the smallholder farmers regarding the proper safe use of the pesticides. So this is a gap that we would like to close through this training so that we have more licensed fumigators.
We know use of certain pesticides and consuming them can lead to cancer. So we are tending to say one of the factors that is increasing the rate of cancer in this country is people taking produce that have got high levels of pesticide.
This training targeted, among others, agro-input dealers and other organizations. Part
of the quality management, because you can see if you have grain with lots of perforations because of weevils, that quality may not fetch premium market. But if you can manage the pests in the most economic and efficient way, then you'll maintain the quality of your grain and therefore it can fetch better price. And also you can store it long and the shelf life improves.
Individuals dealing in grain and pesticides have been urged to employ qualified fumigators who are knowledgeable about various categories of pesticides.
But also after using any empty containers, they need to be disposed of safely. And if there's any spillage, also to dispose it of safely. Picking them with the knowledge about the product and how safely to use it so that human health is not put in danger, but also environment health.
The Ministry of Agriculture is to process application certificates for the 25 dispatched fumigators to ease their work. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
The Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is back on Sunday, 3rd July 2022 at Lubiri Mengo. This year, the run will be physical and will be flagged off by Sabasaja Kabaka at 7 a.m. Come out in large numbers once again to Lubiri Mengo. Run for a cause to fight and end HIV by 2030. Buy your ticket today at 15,000 Uganda shillings from Airtel shops at Tobani Center, New Taxi Park, ShopRite Building, Benchwanka Street, Majestic Brands Office at Bulange Mengo. You can also buy your ticket using Airtel Money. Dial *185*5 hash. Select Payments, select Kabaka Run, and follow the prompts to complete the payment. Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is brought to you by UNAID, CBS, BBS, and Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. We now give you the international news. Now, members of the royal family will attend Platinum Jubilee celebrations across the UK later, although the Queen will miss her second event of the weekend. The Queen has pulled out of the Epsom Derby and will instead watch it on TV from Windsor, Buckingham Palace. The third day of the celebrations will also see tributes from the Prince of Wales and Duke of Cambridge at an open-air concert on Saturday evening. William will also visit Cardiff while Prince Edward is in Northern Ireland. The Queen has been experiencing mobility problems in the recent months, and the palace had warned in advance that the monarch would consider which Jubilee events she felt able to attend. The 96-year-old earlier pulled out on Friday's Jubilee Thanksgiving service after experiencing discomfort during Thursday's event. She had been due to attend Saturday's iconic horse race, but her daughter, the Princess Royal, is expected to officially represent the monarch instead. Meanwhile, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are heading to Cardiff to meet the performers and crew behind the Jubilee concert at Cardiff Castle, which is separate to Saturday evening's concert in London. At the same time, the Earl and Countess of Wessex will carry out 2 engagements in Northern Ireland. Furthermore, African countries are innocent victims of the war in Ukraine, and Russia should help ease their suffering. The head of the African Union has told Vladimir Putin at a meeting in Russia. After talks in Sochi, Macky Sall said that the Russian leader had promised to ease the export of cereals and fertilizer, but gave no details. Mr. Putin denied Moscow was preventing Ukrainian port from exporting grain. Over 40% of wheat consumed in Africa usually comes from Russia and Ukraine. But Ukraine's ports in the Black Sea have been largely blocked for exports since the conflict began. Kyiv and its allies blame Moscow for blockading the port, which Ukraine has mined to prevent a Russian amphibious assault.
When Hassan Nur arrived at this IDP camp in Somalia, he was half what a child his age should weigh. 3 months later, and the 1-year-old is looking healthier, thanks in part to Plumpy Nut. The peanut-based paste has been a crucial weapon in the fight against child malnutrition, since it was developed by French scientists in the 1990s. But aid agencies say it is becoming too expensive, to an extent because of the conflict in Ukraine. Rania Dagash, regional director for UNICEF, said the fundamental issue for Somalia at the moment is climate-induced drought.
But where the effects of the Ukraine crisis come in is that the food prices and fuel prices and others are hiked up to a point where we need more resources to secure what we would have secured before. We need a lot more.
UNICEF says it spends $137 million a year on therapeutic food. The overall market is estimated to be worth up to $400 million. But over the past year, the cost of Plumpy Nut has risen 23%, its main producer Nutriset has said. That includes a 9% hike imposed since the start of the Ukraine conflict, which has triggered an international food crisis and sent prices soaring. In a letter to customers in March, Nutriset warned of impending price increases. It said the costs of ingredients such as palm oil, milk powder and whey, as well as packaging, had risen sharply. Shipping expenses have also rocketed. In all, Nutriset said costs are up 39%. Aid agencies say the problem for Africa's worst-hit countries has been compounded, as donor countries divert state aid to help Ukraine's refugees. Rupia Yakub is Deputy Director for the World Food Programme in East Africa.
Commodity prices have almost doubled in Somalia, and in some parts 93% high. The humanitarian appeal for Somalia is only 15% funded. So what we need now is money. We need the cash to avert the risk of famine.
UNICEF predicts the price of therapeutic food will rise 16% in the next 6 months because of Ukraine as well as pandemic disruptions. Without further funding, the agency warns 600,000 more children may miss out on treatment.
Well, it's about time, and that's all we had truly time for. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. Stay tuned for more news in our subsequent bulletins. Also, do remember the weekly business roundup airs tonight at 8:30 p.m. Fresh programming for you. Stay tuned.